So we got a lot of stuff to cover here today. Joe, good to see you. You feeling okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm feeling great.
Good. Okay. All righty. Make sure that we are live, and I will post this. Oh, I got to get the little TV. Got to get some logo. There we go. Got a few people hopping on, so I'm going to tag this, make an announcement. All right, and let me grab water. We'll get started, Joe. Entertain the troops, Joe.
Okay. Yeah, well, we just got off.
Tell them about the Eagles.
That's the joke, right? Why doesn't Santa Claus have any children? Because he only comes once a year. That's great. No, but John, I just got off I had a coaching call this morning with Dave up in Wisconsin. He's one of our newer dream partners, and we just got off the phone with the seller. They want a contract for review, so we may have a property under contract up in Wisconsin as of today. So that's exciting.
Hold on, Joe. You were talking to me. I was grabbing water.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I said we.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, prior to jumping on here, I was on the phone with Dave up in Wisconsin, and we were speaking with the seller that wants a contract for review. So we may have a property up in Wisconsin for Dave, and he's been with us for like 2-3 weeks now.
Yeah, so, wow, that's awesome.
Exciting. Yeah.
I talked to a seller. I'm going to do a contract here for everybody here in just a little bit. I'm going to do a little recap here. Then I'm going to do a contract here for a house that they actually saw me do on Wednesday, I think, where the seller had called me like at 10 o'clock in the morning. Excuse me.
Okay.
And he got, I done a small mailing to Houston just to show people, hey, here's how you do a mailing. Well, that, rinky-dink little mailing, I'm getting calls on it. Shocker. So this guy is a really nice guy. He's got a house in Houston. $450,000. It was $510,000. He dropped the price, moved to Virginia for his job or whatever. So it's still sitting there. The MLS listing expires in a month. Got my my thing, and he's like, "Hey, send the numbers." He called today and had a little conversation with him about that, which I'll talk about here in a little bit. But I'm going to actually do a contract here for everybody on this masterclass. So anyway, so. And then I don't know if you saw in the Facebook group, in the Masterclass Facebook group, that David Boykin has sent off like it was 29 seller price sheets this week. He said, I've never talked to so many sellers in my life.
Wow.
But so last night on Coach's Corner, I had him on Coach's Corner, and he was sharing this, and I said, but do you realize the power, the impact of what you've done, taking action and doing what you've, just following the plan. He said, yeah, I just simply followed what you all teach, the step. And I said, do you realize that it's, 29 price sheets where, he's talked to the seller, he's done the steps, mastered the process. I said, do you realize it's essentially mathematically impossible to have 29 sellers you've talked to that requested, send them the price list that and not get at least a contract? He goes, oh yeah. He goes, I've got 2 or 3 that are very interested. So
wow, good. That's awesome.
And I'll talk about the Dream Partner again today, but again, the offer that I made, which I've never made before, is for anyone that comes on board as a Dream Partner during this masterclass. By the way, go to thedreampartners.com. But you come on as a Dream Partner, and if you send 90 seller these, well, that's not a price sheet. This is a price sheet. You send 90 seller price sheets within 90 days that Joe or I approve. In other words, that you've talked to the seller. Okay, got the price sheet. Joe and I have approved 90 of them. You do that within 90 days, and you don't have a contract. I am going to reimburse you everything you've put into, everything you've invested into the Dream Partner program, and then I will personally take you under my wings and we will get a contract. This is a no-lose offer. You literally cannot lose. If you simply do what Joe and I tell you, and you do that for 90 days, you get 90 seller price sheets sent off that we've approved. That's important. And you don't have a contract. I'm just going to reimburse you everything you've invested because I believe that much in Joe and myself and the system, and that this does work. So, I mean, seriously, if David Boykin can do 29 in a week,
Yeah.
and he's probably going to get minimum 2 deals out of that, but probably more than that. You can do 90 and 90. Now, 90 sounds like a big number. 90 seller price sheets, like, oh my God. But really, Joe, I've done the math, and I checked it twice. And it turns out that 90 seller price sheets in 90 days, and you may want to check me on this. You're the one that went to college for biology. 90 seller price sheets in 90 days. It turns out that is 1 price sheet a day. That's what I found.
Well, let me double check that. I'll have to run some numbers. Yeah.
Triple check that for me, Joe.
It sounds right, but let me verify. Yeah.
Yeah. Trust, but verify. But I mean, that's totally doable. So, So let's kind of reset the room here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the final day, day 5. You made it. You stuck out with it. You stuck it out with us. You made it. Day 5, the final day of the Lease Option Masterclass. This is the masterclass that all others strive to be and copy. Our coaching program is what all others strive to be. There's no doubt there. And we made it to day 5. We've got a lot of, I got to say, this may be the most important day of the 5-day masterclass, with what we're going to be talking about, what we're going to be sharing, seeing an actual contract go out the door. Joe, this is our 3rd masterclass we've done. And I'm telling you, I don't know if it's just us, getting in the groove of it or whatever, but everyone, I get more and more excited, more and more things happen, whether it's during the masterclass, like suddenly all these leads come in, these students doing all these deals. And so it's really exciting. So I'm really enjoying the 5-day masterclass. And so since you've been, you were out of pocket a little bit this week between a little bit under the weather, and then also a lot of coaching calls with students that are doing a lot of great things. I know you were just talking about Dave up north. So kind of tell everybody real quick, kind of what you've been seeing on the coaching front as far as leads going out, sellers responding, what some of the students are working on.
Well, I've seen the most price sheets I've seen in a long time. I think that's a combination of the time of the year and the market starting to cool off. All of my dream partners are sending out price sheets in mass, and almost every, besides the new ones, I mean, everybody has at least a house under contract, I would say. Almost everybody, right? And of those contracts, I mean, you brought on some of my dream partners that have done deals recently. You have Mike down in Hawaii. I don't know if you brought Esther on at all, but she did that deal in Dallas recently. You had Drew up in Michigan do that deal a couple months ago. So everybody, we're doing deals. We're generating price sheets. We have probably the most properties under contract that I've had dream partners have in a while, as far as the volume. So just busy.
Later today, as we go through the presentation, I've got a really powerful presentation today that goes beyond just doing a deal or doing a contract. So a really powerful presentation. So I really hope that you can stick around for today.
Yeah.
You may have seen on Facebook, my very, very dear friend Gene Garino passed away. He was at the wedding, and so I don't know if you had an opportunity to talk with him or meet with him at the wedding or anything like that. But
oh no,
yeah. So he was he was a powerhouse in this industry, but such a beautiful human being, a wonderful person. So I'm going to talk about him a little bit, but over the last I don't know, I guess week or two, Joe. And I've talked to you a little bit about this, but not really in depth. Um, but over the last couple of weeks, sometimes in life you are going along and you're doing well and things are going great, but then you're just kind of plateau. You're like,
Mhm.
okay, well, I've been here for a while. Well, now what? Right? What's next? Right?
Right.
And so I've been kind of at that plateau level. We're doing great. Our students are doing great in this, and that's wonderful. I'm not
Mhm.
missing that in any level. But for myself, I felt like, man, I've just kind of plateaued here. And oftentimes to get to the next level, you've got to really do something powerful, something impactful, really get uncomfortable. You and I, how I talk about the comfort zones, you got to get out of them. Well, it doesn't matter what level of success you are. In order to get to the next level, you've got to get out of your comfort zone.
Sure.
And so I was listening to, been listening to a lot of audiobooks. I was listening to, this is a great book, by the way, Who Not How. I've been listening to it and finished it. And in that book, they mentioned a gentleman named Joe Polish. Well, Joe Polish is somebody that's been on my radar for years because of his story and everything. He runs a very powerful mastermind and called Genius Network. And I thought, oh my God, that's it. I'm gonna hang out with that group because these people make a lot of the people in that group make $10 million and more a year. It's a whole other level, right?
Right. Right.
And unfortunately, I can get it. I can at least go to that group or at least apply to that group. But their next meeting is in November. I'm already scheduled to speak somewhere, so I can't make it. Then I got invited through a business contact that were anyway to a very big, powerful group called War Room, a big mastermind. These guys can play at a high level. So I'm like, oh my God, I'm next year, 2022. I'm just going to surround myself with people that play at a higher level because.
Mhm.
And as I was thinking about this and looking at my vision board, and I even added a couple of things to my vision board, like hang gliding and shark cage diving. So, but as I, as
And
I'm
don't they say you're the average of your closest five friends? Isn't that a
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Jim Rohn said you're the average of the five people that you hang around.
Right. Right.
And as I'm kind of going through this, not transformation, or you're kind of getting prepared for it, I'm like, man, it's time to plateau. It's time to get to a whole other level. Of course, I'm thinking about our students and
Mhm.
about how we approach things, not just you and I, but just in general as people, how we approach things. And it's
Sure.
made me think a lot, Joe, that, and so I was asking this question yesterday what do you think is easier to make $10 or to make $20? Right. And that was the question that I posed to everybody. And the truth is, the energy that someone has to put out, to give out, and work they have to do to make $10, it's about the same thing as what you have to do to make $20. So
Okay.
if you, which is, and so often, like you and I are, teach people how to do deals. Our average deal is say $12,000 or $15,000 as an average.
Mhm.
And what I was started to kind of think about and realize is that, and I was talking to my students about this last night, is that, I think so often we focus too much on getting a deal, getting that first deal. Oh, Joe, I got to get this $12,000. I got to hit that deal.
Right.
And when we think of it that way, that deal, that $12,000 or that $15,000 deal, becomes it's like we have to really work to get that $15,000 deal, to push that student up there to that $15,000. Well, maybe we should be having the target set at $100,000. All right, come on board. We're going to do $100,000, and now we're excited because you add a little more gunpowder, and boom, you're there. And even if you're halfway wrong, you're at $50,000, right? So I say all that just to kind of with no specific point to kind of end it with, other than I think in general, I think we all need to say, maybe the goal should be to make 5 million a year, or a million, or depending on where someone is, because I saw this on Facebook where somebody posted that $1 million a year is the new $100,000. So for years and years,
with the way inflation's going, yeah, I would agree.
yeah. But for years we've kind of had it ingrained that, oh, if only I could make 100,000 a year, if only I can make 100,000 a year.
Sure. Right.
And, well, that's when you look at it, it's like, well, that's nothing. And there was a slide that I was showing that said that some people think that $100,000 a year is unattainable, whereas other people think that $100,000 a month is a bad month.
Right.
And that's so true. So I think about the people that you and I both know, whether it be in this industry or close to us, or in some of the masterminds where, $100,000 a month is kind of average for them. And it makes you think, well, in order to get to that level, you just have to change your perception of things. And so,
sure.
So anyway, so just thinking, looking at, hey guys, let's do $100,000. Forget about, I got to make this one deal. No, well, whatever. We're going to do $100,000, right? And that's the target, because you're putting a lot of gunpowder. Now you've got the momentum, right? Instead of just going, oh boy, if we can just get this one deal. No, this is a business. This is a company. We're going to do a lot of stuff and put all that gunpowder behind there. So anyway, just kind of some of the thoughts and things I've been talking about over the last couple of days with people about changing their perception and maybe kind of the way they think and the way I'm thinking about, was like, I don't even think about making $2 million a year right now. I'm thinking, no, let's go to the 10 million, right? Because even if I'm wrong, okay, well, I made 6 million.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, so I'm super excited. Having said that, I'm super excited about 2022. I'm incredibly excited about the dream partners that are applying right now to work with us, our current dream partners, because you and I have refined our coaching and in the sense of how we're presenting the material, the strategies that, how we're pushing them, et cetera, to make them successful. So I'm super excited about all that. So let's us get going here. I actually have a presentation here. First, I'll say this. I'm going to do a very short Q&A here. Okay. Share. There we go. Takes a little bit to get the slide up. So I'm going to do, I have not had an opportunity to do this week, except in the VIP room. I'm going to put it out there for some Q&A if people have questions. I'm going to mute this here. So Alan, so we're already getting some comments here, some great comments here. Joe, I'm just going down through the line here to answer any questions you all have before, as we get into the presentation. Sharon saying, raise the bar. Rob said that was from a mail out campaign. If you're Rob, if you're talking about the house I'm going to do a contract on, yes, it's from a direct mail campaign. Alan, is there a provision in the contract signed by the seller and leasee that protects the seller in the event leasee decides to stay beyond 12-month period and claims month to month? It'll the contract. Who's that? Alan. Alan, the contract states that the period is for 12 months from here, effective date to end date. However, it does state that should the buyer that 60 days prior to the end of the contract, the buyer must state their intentions, and so the seller would want to give the seller and buyer would want to give each other written notification of what's going on there. Earl, where do you send your leads to that John's going to call in the after show? Earl, I've got yours. So I'm going to call yours in the VIP room after this. Manny says, hey guys, I have a dentist appointment to go now. I see you later. And the replay. I love you all and keep learning, folks. Great class. Manny, we'll just wait for you. We'll just hang out here. Just let us know. Manny's actually made, I don't know if you've seen, Manny Perez has actually made some pretty phenomenal graphics.
I saw that graphics. One. Yeah,
some
that's
really
Manny.
Cool ones.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was
You could
like,
do some marketing stuff for us. That'd
I
be
know. I'm
great.
like, dang, dude, give me your
Yeah, that
digits.
looked nice.
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
you do some marketing for us. Yeah. Uh, Alan, your $10 to $20 issue is just like Undercover Billionaire with Grant Cardone. 10x rule: shoot for a 10x your goal and ensure a high level of success. Why do you think the other two participants had squeakers and he hit 5.5 million? Yeah, absolutely. Set your goal high, because what was that, Alan? Alan, yeah, you set your goal high. And what you do is you put all the gunpowder in, and you're coming out hard and fast. So, like on Undercover Billionaire, when they created an opportunity, or they saw an opportunity open with say a business owner or whatever, they weren't all meek and mild and go, oh well, maybe if you want, just think about it, okay, right? No, they were like, bam, let's do this. Like almost to the point where the people had no option but doing the work. You put that much gunpowder in the cannon, and you're gonna fire that cannonball off a long distance versus just a little bit of gunpowder, right? And the thing can't even make it out of the cannon. So shoot for if $100,000 is a lot to you, shoot for $100,000. One of the things I talked about yesterday on my training with my students, this was not in the masterclass, it was not VIP, this were the students I work with, is I said, I call out my students in a polite way if I feel like they're not, just like a personal trainer, trying to keep them going here. And there's one in particular. I said, guys, I got your price sheets. This is sloppy work that you did. You're better than this. And you are, that you should have sent these to me first. Now you got to fix this and send it to the seller, which they did. And I started talking about their goals. Everybody, I said, what is your goal? What is your target? I said, this is October 15. What's your goal before the end of the year? I said, and I'm guilty because I don't have it written down. I'm going to write it down.
Yeah.
I said, I don't even have a goal of income between now and the end of the year, which is stupid. So I said, what's your goal? And I said, maybe it's 30,000, 50,000, 100,000, whatever. So I had them all write it down and put it, somewhere on their wall, and they were holding up like a piece of paper and said like $50,000 between now and the end of December. And so I said, okay, my goal between now and the end of December to do deals and work with the students is $200,000, right? Which $200,000, I mean, that's totally doable, but it's not a matter of whether it's doable or not. It's a matter of, yeah, okay, let's do it. $200,000. What if was it a month and a half? A month and a half. Is that right? 2 months. Yeah, two and a half months. What if we only did 175,000? Okay, well, guess what? Bam, we tried. We were going for 200, came at 175. All right, we'll get it next time. But we're still going to come in hot and heavy and do a lot of deals. So later today, I've got it written down. Later today, I'm going to put it on my wall here. $200,000 by December 31st. And I think everybody on this masterclass should write down, what is your goal between now and the end of December financially? Is it to do and don't make it one deal? Oh, I just want to do one deal. No, because what you're going to find is if your goal is one deal, you're going to go at it without hardly any enthusiasm, without all the gunpowder and the force behind you. Make it, you know what I'm doing? I'm going to get 10 deals under contract between now and December. Boom. Right. I'm going to close 3. I'll get 10 of them under contract, whatever that number is. Set it much higher than what you're really, just set it high. Great point, Alan. Let's see here. Let's see here. Alan, is there a security deposit collected in these contracts? Ooh, Joe Seski, I'm going to let you answer that one. Alan is asking, is there a security deposit collected in these contracts?
Yeah, no, there is no deposit ever. You never want to say the word deposit. There is no deposit with at least the way that we structure our lease options. What there is there's a portion of our fee, the option fee. We give a portion of that to the seller. Usually I like to give to the seller the equivalent of first month's rent, because in a normal rental at move-in, a tenant would have to put down first month's rent and then last month's rent as a deposit. Well, since there's no deposit in our program, I usually give the seller the equivalent of the rent amount. You don't have to, but that's what I do. And I tell the seller that's even better than a deposit because it's non-refundable. So we actually pay the seller just a very small portion of our fee that we receive in move-in, and we give that to them as non-refundable. But there is definitely no deposit with the lease option.
Exactly. Yeah. You never, ever, ever want to have a deposit with a lease option.
Because that implies that it's refundable, and there's nothing refundable. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. All right. So quick review, then we're going to jump into doing an actual contract here. So quick review here. Day one, we talked about mindset and beliefs, your cash and income goals. We were just talking about that. We talked about what is the lease option, undercover billionaire. Grant Cardone talking lease options.
What is that on? Is that on Hulu or Netflix? Where are you streaming that?
I think it may be Hulu.
Okay.
I've got this smart TV thing with the remote, Joe, and you literally
everybody does. Yeah, everybody does.
Yeah. Well, you just push the mic.
Let me fix my dials. Let me fix my bunny ear antennas. I'm sorry, John. I know I live in Oklahoma, but we have televisions up here.
How's that tinfoil rabbit ears doing for you?
Hey, I get all the major networks, so yeah, no. But you think it's on Hulu?
I think so. Yeah, I just.
All right, I can do it. Thanks.
Hey, Joe, here's one for you. Look up building. No, what was the name of that show I was just watching? Building. I'll get it.
Okay.
I was talking about it the other day to someone.
Okay.
Anyway, it's about how all the big bankers control everything. It was shocking. I'm
shocked.
Bilderberg. Look up, Joe. Just Google Bilderberg Group.
Bilderberg Group? Okay.
Bilderberg Group. Yeah, it's shocking. All right. So we're talking about undercover billionaire. Speed, guys. Speed. When you've got to act so fast, you basically bypass the subconscious. And we had the video from Robert Allen asking, are you committed? Because until one is committed, there is hesitancy. Anything you do, whether it's filling out, wanting to come on board as a dream partner and doing the application, whether it's going into something else with real estate, whatever it is you want to do, maybe it's losing weight, hire a trainer, go skydiving, go hang gliding, whatever it is. Are you committed, right? Are you committed? Are you going to take action on it? Again, we talked about about the conscious and the subconscious, about how the conscious brain creates these ideas and desires and thoughts. And every idea, desire, or thought has to pass through the subconscious before you take action. And the most dangerous action you can take is when that subconscious stamps it with approval, but with caution, because that means your action's going to suck, which means your results are going to suck, which are going to go back to the conscious brain and go, well, see there, I told you this whole lease option stuff didn't work. See that I sent off 5 mail pieces and nobody called me. See, I told you this doesn't work. Right. So you got to act so fast that your subconscious, it just literally bypasses the subconscious. So again, successful people act quickly. The successful people decide quickly and then adjust. What are they adjusting? They're adjusting their action to tweak the results. They take action as quickly as possible and they monitor the results. And if the results indicate it, then they'll make some adjustments, right? And that is how you've got to be. That is really how business owners act. Is they act quickly and they adjust according to the results. Then we talk about what is the lease option assignment. We did a real deal and real price sheet. This one right here, guys. This was a property lead sheet. This came off of a direct mail piece I sent a couple weeks ago. It was actually almost 3 weeks ago, yeah. Which is important to note because when you do a direct mail campaign, you will get phone calls on it 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 weeks after you sent the mail piece. So then we then put a actual seller price sheet there together right there. And then we talked about 20 ways to market to sellers, multiple ways to market to sellers. We even showed how we pull over 30, 60, and 90 direct using direct mail. We even showcase a little bit of Property Snatcher, where we can literally go into, like, say, all of Florida, send me all the over 90 listings, and there was over 5,000 in Florida. So we showed how we use how our dream partners can pull over 30, 60, 90, and how Joe and I work with the dream partners to do some of the marketing. Then yesterday we talked about the current market, about how you should be paddling as fast as possible because the wave is coming. Talking about how when surfers are going surfing, how they paddle before the waves already crashed. Right, that serves you no purpose to start paddling. The waves already passed you and crashed. Surfers start paddling ahead of time, so you should be paddling right now. You're hearing Joe and I talk about this, and maybe we're not emphasizing this enough, but Joe, I've been doing this a long time. I've been doing this since 2003. So Joe and I, a long time. We've seen different cycles, and what we're seeing now is the market is cooling down. The market is cooling down. Days on market is going up, and sellers are more and more saying, I need a plan B. You're seeing the same thing, right, Joe?
Yep. Yeah. It's going to be a big wave too.
Yeah. I'm excited about it. So everybody on this masterclass right now, you're in the right place at the right time. The question is, are you going to paddle? Are you going to sit there on your surfboard while everybody else on this masterclass is paddling to get to come on board as a dream partner, and you're just sitting there on your surfboard going, well, I missed that one, didn't I? Well, I guess I better go chase another shiny object, right? The wave is building up underneath us right now. We're seeing it. When you can send a tiny little direct mail piece like I did to an area that's hot, like Houston, are you kidding me? Houston's hot, right? But wait a minute. I send a tiny little mailing there just to show people how to do a mailing, and boom, I'm getting, I think this is the number 7th or 8th call off that tiny little mailing I did. That I just as an example. So what does that mean? It means today, guess what I'm doing? I'm doing another mailing. Matter of fact, on the VIP room, if we have time, I'll probably do another direct mail campaign to Houston so everybody can see how easy it is for dream partners to do a direct mail campaign. I don't have time to do it here on the masterclass, but probably in the VIP room, everybody will be able to see me do an actual direct mail campaign to Houston, a follow-up campaign. Because again, guys, I've said uncertainty in the market causes fear. With fear and uncertainty, prices drop, days on market increase. More and more sellers need a plan B. So the wave you're waiting for, everybody on this masterclass, at some point, Joe, don't you think at some point everybody on this masterclass has looked at doing real estate or maybe bought a course in real estate?
Oh yeah, I'd bet on it.
But I'd have to imagine most people here have never done a deal because they literally sat on the surfboard. They got the surfboard, and that's great. And maybe they went out in the water going, oh boy, okay, now I got it. And then as everybody else is, all the other surfers are paddling and catching the wave. They're like, oh, well, I didn't have enough information to gather that to catch that wave. Right.
Well, a good surfer picks the right wave too, right?
Yeah, right.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right.
So the wave you're waiting for is it's right here. It is right here. You do not want to wait on this.
Is that you, John? Is that you surfing?
I'm much more toned. I'm much more buff. And my wife shaves my chest, which is probably TMI for everybody on this call. Wow. And Joe's comment takes a horrible.
Yeah. Oh, right.
I don't know, Joe. Any other comments?
No, I'm good. Let's move on. Yeah, let's move on from this slide.
So I'm about to show you all an actual contract. But again, here's the steps to a lease option assignment. You market to the seller. So I did marketing to, in this case, Houston. When the sellers call, you send them email number 1 with how does lease purchase help. Then our dream partner send the seller price sheet right here. Every one of these seller price sheets, Joe or myself will review for the dream partners to make sure the numbers are correct. So like yesterday on my coaching call, one of my students on there who knows better, had sent off 2 price sheets for some high-end houses, like $800,000, $1.6 million houses, but had not sent me the price sheets and made a couple of pretty serious errors on them. And so I said, you should have sent these to me. This is, you know, better than this, and not in a mean way.
Right.
And so he corrected them, and I think we're going to be on track with those. So anyway, so then we send the contracts. That's what you're about to see me do. You're going to see me send the contract for this property here in just a second. Then once we get the property, we market the property, we locate the buyer, collect our fee, close the deal, and give everyone a copy of the contract. Those are the steps to a lease option assignment. Now, when you look at this, it's 7 steps. I got to say, it's pretty simple, but it's simple because I've been doing it for 18 years, and it's simple to Joe because he's been doing it for, my gosh, how long has it been, Joe? 11? 10, 11?
Yeah. So 10 years now, almost.
Yeah.
Yeah. 10 years.
So it's easy for us because we've been doing it for so long. So yes, that's 28 years combined of experience. And so it's easy for us, which is a massive, massive help to our dream partners, because they know that they've got us right there by their side. They've got us right there by their side, helping them through these steps. If they have a question with the seller, a question on the sales, on the contract or the numbers, anything, we're right there by their side to help them because we've got 28 years of experience. So I'm going to show everybody here a real deal and a real contract. So I'm going to escape out of this. I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go pull up my browser here. And I'm going to pull this house up. All right. All right, let's pull this browser up. So this is 102. Oh, I've got it. That's already pulled up. Right there. Nope. Right there. Okay. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show the house. So here's the house right here, 10206 Briar Forest Drive. You may remember this from Wednesday when I put the numbers together on it. And then I put the price sheet together. So here's the price sheet I sent the seller. Now, oftentimes people get nervous about talking to sellers, worried about what are they going to say, what questions they're going to ask, this and that. I wish I would have had this phone call recorded. He had called right as I pulled up into the driveway this morning. And so the conversation went essentially like this. I said, "Oh, hey, Chris. Hey, Chris, how you doing? Blah, blah, blah." And, a little chit chat, this and that. He said, "Okay." He said, "Well, I've looked over what you sent me here. Now follow this, guys. Listen to me. This is important." He said, "Okay, now I've looked at everything that you sent me, but I'm just looking at the numbers that you sent me in that PDF. If this is right, based on what you sent me, if they're paying if they're paying that rental amount for 12 months, that means they're paying like over $470,000 for this house. And I'm asking $450." He said, "Well, I'm not. You really have people that would do that?" So do you understand what the seller is asking everybody? The seller is a very analytical person. I think he told me briefly what he did very quickly. It was like a geo analytical technician, or he's a geo whatever guy.
He knows math, basically.
He knows math. He knows. Well, you know what? I should have. I should have him on this call and say, "Hey, if I send 90 price sheets in 90 days, how many price sheets a day is that?"
Right.
He's very smart. But do you understand, everybody, how he was looking at this? Because he's a guy that I have to assume has very good credit, good income. So he couldn't quite wrap his head around, well, why would someone pay more than what I'm asking?
Mhm.
So I had to explain to him. I said, well, that's a great question. I said, and I get that sometimes. So with real estate, and this is what I'm telling you, with real estate, there's a saying that's often, in real estate, there's price, you can have price or terms, but not
Terms,
both.
yeah. Mhm.
In this case, you may be asking for 50. And so someone that just wants to, is pre-approved, they're good to go, they'll see your house, love it, boom, they'll go that way and maybe negotiate with you. Our buyers are fine with the price. They don't care paying you what you're asking. They just want a little bit of time to make their life 1,000 times easier. Maybe they're having to move the kids into school, get the new job at Exxon
Mhm.
down there in Houston started, get the moving trucks in and this and that. The last thing you want to do is go, and on top of all this mayhem and crud, oh, I've got to come up with 2 years of tax returns, a DNA sample, COVID test, all the crap, whatever. No, they
Mhm.
just want to get in the house, get moved in and go, okay, now let's take a look at the finance. And so I told him about the property that I was about to buy. I came very close to buying on a lease option simply because I wanted time. So then he's like, oh, okay. So he started to understand it. And so then he was saying, now in that house, I had a buyer for it, then had to replace a lot of plumbing on it. And then we started talking about the home warranty, what the home warranty covers that the buyer gets, what his insurance would be responsible for, and those things. And that was it was kind of very, just kind of going down that avenue.
Mhm.
And so I said, his house is listed for 30 more days. And I said, you know what, since it's listed for 30 more days, because he was saying, how's that work with my agent? And I said, well, you certainly want to get with your agent and say, I'm looking to offer as a lease option, but I want to keep the listing. I said, in your case, since your listing's, about to come up, review your agreement with your agent and let me go ahead and get the contracts out to you, the agreements out to you for us, so that you and your wife can review them,
Mhm.
see if you have any questions, so you'll understand everything. And then at that point, you may want to go ahead and let's pull the trigger now on the lease option, or you may want to wait just a few more weeks and the contract expires, and there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put the contracts together here. I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to share my entire screen. All right, so here we go. So the first thing I do is I've got the contract. Be master, boom. And here are the contracts. And actually, I need to confirm wife's name. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to pull up. So when you're doing the contracts, you obviously want to see what the owner's name.
Yeah, even if you think you know who the owner is, it could be an
Yeah.
LLC, it
Yes.
could be a trust, there could be a spouse you don't know. So just because he said his name was Mike Smith, don't go with that. You always have to verify it.
Yeah. And there it is. So it's Christian and Ann. So I'm going to go ahead and print that just to put it with the file. And this has information like legal description and this and that. But let's go ahead and get the contract going now. I put today's the 15th of October. Joe, what are you doing for Halloween?
That's a good question. I don't know yet. Why? What are you doing?
It looks like I may actually be going to Phoenix.
Ooh, sounds spooky.
Ooh.
Do you have a costume yet?
Yeah, should I make another reference to the Eagles? Who is it that just beat them? Didn't somebody just beat them?
I don't know.
And the crowd goes quiet. All right, so guys, as you can see, I'm filling out the contract now. Now our contracts, our dream partners use will auto-populate wherever the seller's name goes, dates, this and that. So watch this. Now this is, I'm referencing the seller price sheet. I'm just plugging the numbers in here, guys. 459. The payments were $30.95. 5,400. 12. Boom, boom. And you see how this is auto populating right here. And there's 23,000. Boom, boom, boom. Seller receives 4,000. So in this one, I'm actually giving the owner 4,000. So what happens is, let me go back here. This will auto populate the numbers everywhere in the contract that these go. And then I'm simply going to put the date in here. 10, 15, 20, 21. There. Now, right here, I could put the legal description. I'm not too, let me go ahead and do it. What the heck? $41. Okay. Now, normally we would put the start and end date here because I'm just sending this for him to review. I'm not going to send that just yet. Anyway, so now the documents are essentially completed. I'm going to put his name here. Five, 2, 4, 5. That's it. And then we've got, that's the, there's that. There's the option of purchase. I know I'm going kind of faster, but the point is our contracts that the dream partners use, it auto populates everything. I mean, this is how easy it is. And there you go. There's the contract. Now I'm going to go up here. Now I'm going to save this, save as. $10206 Briar Forest documents. There's that. Now, what do you think I should do? I should probably send an email. Guess what? Our dream partners have it already pre-drafted right here. This email goes with that contract. Now, this is a Texas contract, so that's email's a little bit lengthier than normal. I'm going to go boom. And let me see here. I kind of get this down here. You can see. So his email, CHRIS, Chris Kern. Documents for Briar Forest. And hi there, Chris.
I just got a message from Esther. It looks like she may have a buyer for her house in Joshua.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. Let's see.
I need to text her. I need to have her in the coach's corner tonight.
You should.
She showed a property for me last week in Highland Village.
Where's that at?
Highland Village, yeah. By Flower Mound.
Oh, okay.
I
like Flower Mound. That's a nice area.
Yeah, it is. So here's the email that's going to go with the contract, guys. I took the contracts, phoned them out, boom, boom, copy, paste. Here you go. And that's it. I just did the contracts. This is exactly the steps that we teach our dream partners to do. Step by step by step. And remember, I've been pounding this down, guys. Master the process, the outcome will happen. Well, I did the direct mail. The seller called me. I put the price sheet together. And there you go. That house in Esther, what's kind of the ballpark? What's the numbers on that as far as like the price range?
439.9 option price with 22K down.
Okay. Sweet. Everybody loves Esther. I'm gonna see if maybe she can do the coach's corner tonight. Uh-oh, did I lose you, Joe? Your audio?
I'm here.
Okay, I thought I saw it. You know what? I know what it was. Never mind. So there was a real deal on a real contract right there, guys. A real deal, and real contract. Again, in the VIP today, I'll be answering some more questions. I'll also be doing, I'll do a direct mail campaign to Houston, Texas. Alan's asking, when sending direct mail, how many touches the prospective seller? How often do you re-email the same prospect? So great question, Alan. On listed houses, every time I send listed houses, I pull that list every time because that list is very fluid. It changes a lot. If you're sending to a list of, say, as a wholesaler, if you're sending to a list of, say, absentee owner high equity, well, that list doesn't change much. You could literally take that list and hit it, 10 times before you have to pull it again. With listed houses, like what I'm going to be doing here in the VIP room that you're going to see, this is a list that I just pulled. So I'm pulling that over 30, 60, 90 list, whatever I'm hitting, I'm pulling that fresh each time. Good question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you send the contract DocuSign? Rob, I will send the document DocuSign when it's time to be signed. In this case, they just need to review it because I just want to review it. So it's, hey, take a look at this. And then when he says, and once I answer any questions he has, it's all right. I'm going to get everything to you, DocuSign. Boom, done. All right. So again, guys, that was a real deal, a real contract. I know we've got about 10 minutes left here before we have to go in the VIP room. So again, as we go through this here, I want to recap what the steps of lease option assignment and we talked about yesterday. Right here, we mark, again, market sellers, mark email number 1, email number 2, you send the contracts, market the property. So once this buyer signs, once the seller signs everything, boom, market the property, Facebook Marketplace, leasing to buy. That's a huge thing for our dream partners is we market on leasingtobuy.com. My VA blasts out to multiple syndication websites. We get up on Facebook Marketplace, signs in the yard, they get to use the leasing to buy signs, everything. So the dream partners is literally taking our entire business model and we're handing it to you. We're showing you exactly how to use it. You locate the buyer, collect your fee, close the deal. Everybody gets a copy of the contract. Again, yesterday, I felt like I needed to show a bunch of checks just to make it feel like, I'm an actual educator. So we ran through a bunch of checks here. Woo, look at those checks. Yay, we're making money. Good for them. Yay, 31,000, 15,000. And of course, amazing reviews from our dream partners. We just started using this platform and I'm loving it already. This one I will pause a little bit on, just like I did yesterday, where Cameron, they did a direct mail campaign without asking me, without me verifying a couple of things, messed it up. And I said, I'm going to do it for you. I did a small mailing campaign using our leasing buy trifo brochure. He said, thank you for sending that out. It turned into a big check. There is a screenshot he took of his bank account that he had sent to his mom because he was so happy.
Wow.
Yeah, $159,000. His life is the trajectory of his life has changed because of that direct mail I did for him.
Yeah, that's a fun weekend.
That's a fun weekend. And that's 2 fun weekends if you're in Ardmore. Woo! Did I lose Joe again? I think I lost Joe again. I did lose Joe. So Cameron is 23 years old. Unbelievable. I'm going to check back here. I'm going to see if Joe, there he is.
Cameron, in San Antonio?
There you are. We lost you for a second.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Yeah, that is Cameron in San Antonio. Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, so
good for him.
They had messed up a direct mail campaign and not done it the way the way I teach. And
right.
was abysmal. And, they're like, oh, there's a whole story behind it. I'm like, let me take over. So I did one mailing for him. I said, here's how you do it. And $159,000. So great stuff there. Again, guys, as we start to wrap this up, if you have not applied to work with myself and Joe, you need to do that, because this entire Facebook group is coming down Monday at midnight. Go to thedreampartners.com. You just simply go to thedreampartners.com. It's totally free to apply. You fill out a short application online, and then you'll go to a scheduling calendar to talk to Maricela or Tim, and they'll talk to you a little bit, get a little information from you, make sure that, see if you're a good fit for us and vice versa. And I was very transparent with you. I said, look, the investment's $9,800 and then $495 a month. But I was also hopefully very clear in saying, please don't think, well, I don't have all that $9,800 right now. We didn't ask you that. We just said, here's what the investment is. And fill out that application and have that conversation with Maricela or Susie or Tamara, and discuss if you're a great fit, but you're going to need a payment plan or need some financing on that, then believe me, they'll help you with that. Our goal here is to help you succeed, right? Not put you in any sort of financial burden whatsoever. Our immediate goal, our very first goal, is to joint venture with you on $40,000 of profits as quickly as humanly possible, right? And I should probably, after thinking about this last weeks, I'll raise that to $100,000. How can we JV on $100,000 as quick as humanly possible, right? Raise that bar, put that gunpowder in there, and hit it hard. But again, go to thedreampartners.com if you haven't already. And again, my offer that I've never made it to my list, but I'm making it right here in this masterclass is this. You send 90 seller price sheets in 90 days, which according to Joe Seski, averages very close to one price sheet a day.
Just about, yep.
I could hear him on his abacus there. He said, yep, just about. You do one price sheet a day. That Joe and I have said, yep, that looks good. And you don't have a contract, I will refund you every single dime you put into the Dream Partners. And then I will work with you still personally for free until you get a contract, right? You cannot lose doing this. You cannot, but we're only taking on 12 people. Remember, successful people decide quickly and adjust. Unsuccessful people never decide. We're only taking on 12 people. I have not told I have a list of over 30,000 people that are on my email list that next week, if we still have any spots, I'm going to be opening up the doors. So you want to be ahead of them. You want to be at the front of the line by getting your name on the application ahead of them, right? And just have the conversation with my team to see if it's a fit, right? Maybe it's a great fit, but maybe you decide, you know what, the timing is not quite right now. I don't know. But go to thedreampartners.com. Please do yourself a favor and write that down, thedreampartners.com. I'm blasting this out to my list of 30,000 people next week. Again, this is the no-lose offer. You send Joe or I 90 price sheets in 90 days. If you don't have a contract, I will refund you everything.
And John, don't mean to interrupt. I got to jump on a coaching call right now. So thank you, and I hope to see some of you guys. Thanks.
All right. You bet, Joe. So again, 90 price sheets to myself or Joe in 90 days. You don't have a contract, I'll refund you everything. Personally, I'll work with you for free until you get a contract. All right? But we're only taking 12. Now, as we wrap up this final day of the masterclass, I want to talk a little bit about a very, very dear friend of mine. I was talking about at the beginning of the class, but I want to dive in here a little bit. Every now and then in life, you have a friendship or relationship with somebody who passes away, and it makes a dramatic impact on you. And it makes you stop and think. It makes you think, well, what am I doing? Is what I'm doing big enough? Is it good enough? Am I making an impact even? What am I doing? With Gene Garino, was definitely one of those people. Gene Garino, I've known him for years, but over the last year and a half, 2 years, really got to know him and his wife, Mona, very well. Gene started the Residential Assisted Living Academy, REL Academy, after his mom had fallen. When she was older, she had fallen. And Gene and his brother found it very difficult to find a place that could, where she could live, where they were comfortable with her living. That started Gene's quest. That started his mission, which then became the Residential Assisted Living Academy, where he taught other people how to make a business out of assisted living, how to work with people, help families through residential assisted living. Now, Gene is known in the industry. He's just a behemoth in the industry in the sense of such a solid rock, an amazing, amazing man. One of these people that when you meet, you immediately go, oh my gosh, you almost feel guilty, like, oh my God, I'm nowhere near as good a human being as I thought I was. Or he just being around him made you want to be a better person. And having known him really got to know him for the last year and a half, 2 years, made me really think, especially over the last 6 months, made me start to think about how much more I could do, what a bigger impact I could make, how I could help people more and more. So Gene, we were with him in Sedona back in. He came to my wedding. He and his wife came to our wedding in August, and then there's Gene right there, Gene and myself and our wives. There we were up in the right. We were in Sedona, Arizona, about to go up in a hot air balloon, and there's Gene down at the bottom at the wedding, and so just being around him, especially in Sedona, being at his beautiful house in Sedona and being around him and his wife, it really started making me think about, I could really help people get to a whole other level even. And so it made me want to make a bigger impact. And certainly, so after Sedona, about a few days later, he started getting a bad cough, and his wife, Mona, had reached out to us and said, hey, how are y'all feeling? Because Gene's coughing. It sounds pretty bad. And he had COVID. He went to the hospital. They said, yep, you have COVID, but you also have double pneumonia. So it was very quick, and had to put him on the incubator. And so he passed away on Wednesday evening. And because of that, then it really makes me kind of step back and go, what are we doing here? How can Joe and I make an even bigger impact on people? How can we help people even more? And so it's made me, kind of think about how I approach and work with my students, saying, what are you doing trying to fight for a $15,000 deal? Let's go for $100,000. Put all the gunpowder in there. What are you doing to impact not just money financially, but what are you doing to impact others around you? What are you doing to make an impact in life? And so this is really kind of lit a fire under me, if you will, to think about, everything I do every day, so I've got to do something every day to make an impact and move the needle. So I'm going to ask you all on this masterclass, what are you doing today that's going to move the needle? What are you doing today that's going to make an impact? There we are at the Hero Coaches event. Now, you all do not know what Hero Coaches event is. There's Gene there on the right. My good friend and I, Tim Mai and I, Tim is on a quest to really change the real estate coaching industry. I think we're all too familiar with the fact that oftentimes real estate coaching industry is known as, you pay a lot of money for coaching and mentorship, and maybe you get to talk to the coach once a week. The success rate's very low. This is where the Hero Coaches event came from. Is we're on a mission to change the way real estate coaches approach their students and approach the coaching. Our goal is to get as close as we can to 100% success with our students and to pass this message on to all those coaches that you see there. There's Robert Allen, Dolph DeRoos, who's amazing. Obviously, there's Gene Garino right there. And at this event, even on the final day, it's about making an impact. The last day of this event, we did a fundraiser for a couple of charities for the blind, for blind children. We raised $700,000 at this event. Gene Garino himself donated over $40,000 at this event for these causes. That is powerful. That is an impact. And now we work with these coaches to help them craft their coaching, help them craft their offer, but to make sure that it's in line with high success rate. Your students are not just a number. Right? Everybody on this masterclass, you're not just a number. All of our dream partners are not just a number. Our goal is to do everything we can to make an impact on their lives. So that's what the Hero Coaches event came from. It was this year. Absolute. I mean, the trajectory of lives in that room was dramatically changed and impacted at that event. So I'm stressing. I mean, I'm telling you right now, I've talked about this before yesterday in the beginning of this class. If you are stressing over how to make $10,000, if you're stressing over how to make $10,000, you will not attract it. You're going to be pushing that away. Stop trying to make $10,000 if that's the case. Go for $100,000. You will be amazed. Even if you fall short, you will be amazed at the progress and success you have. So what are you going to do today to move the needle? And I tell my students this all the time. Business cards do not move needles. Do something that will move the needle. Stop doing busy work. If moving the needle for you today is to go to thedreampartners.com and spend all of 2 minutes filling out the application to have a conversation, then do it. That is going to move the needle. Having a conversation with my team will dramatically move the needle. If you're accepted and you come on board as a dream partner, that will impact your life like you have no idea. That will move the needle. So what are you going to do today to make an impact? What are you going to do today to move the needle? Every day of Gene Garino's life, he was moving that needle. And I know I can assure you that every day of Gene Garino's life, he was doing something every day to make an impact. You don't get to the level of success that Gene Garino had by getting new business cards, right? You've got to do something to make an impact, something to move the needle. All right? Stop thinking small. God didn't create you to think small. Guys, I've thoroughly enjoyed this masterclass this week. About to go over to the VIP room. If you have not gone to thedreampartners.com yet, please do it. Please do it. If you feel like maybe it's not in you to go to thedreampartners.com and spend all of 2 minutes to fill out an application, I would ask that you take a step back and say, is real estate even right for you? It may not be. And if it's not, then run away from it and go find your passion. Go find what is your calling. If you enjoy real estate, if you want to get serious about real estate, if you want to make an impact with real estate, if you want to move the needle in real estate, you can go to thedreampartners.com. It is a no-lose offer. You do exactly what Joe and I tell you to do. You send 90 price sheets in 90 days. You don't have a contract, I'm giving you all the money back. That's how strongly I believe in what we do. David Boykin, last night in the Coach's Corner, 29 seller price sheets in a week. Guys, you can do this. Go to thedreampartners.com. As Gene Garino would say, do good and do well. Thank you, guys. I will see everybody on the VIP room. We're going to do a direct mail piece here in the VIP room. Take care, everybody.